My name is Anastasia Pierce, and when I was asked to do a presentation on my hometown, I was like, which one? Because I have lived in over 6 states and at least twice that many towns, so it was kind of hard to pick. But I went with the one I was born in, which is Beaufort, South Carolina. And how many people have heard of Beaufort, South Carolina? 2 people, awesome. Well, actually, most of you, if not all of you, have seen Beaufort, South Carolina, because that is the town where Forrest Gump was actually filmed. So technically, I was born in the same town as Forrest Gump. Even though it was set in Greenbow, Alabama, actually none of the movie was in Alabama, like filmed in Alabama. It was all either in Beaufort or Georgia, Savannah, Georgia, and some parts of California briefly. But so I'm going to tell you about some of the scenes shot in Forrest Gump, some of the other movies that filmed in Beaufort, and its personal value to me. The most prominent, which actually I forgot to tell you, Beaufort's in like the very bottom of South Carolina, where all those islands are. So it is south of pretty much everywhere in South Carolina. But anyway, the most prominent part of Forrest Gump is the big, beautiful plantation house that the film starts and ends there, and it's throughout the film where Forrest lived with his mother. And that was actually not a real house. I mean, it was built according to an article from News OK written in July 31st, 1994. The house itself was built hastily and not to code in less than 2 months on Bluff Plantation, which is like kind of off the edge of Beaufort. But so it was a 2-month-old house that was made to look about 100 years old, and they did a pretty good job of it. Even the oak tree that Jenny and Forrest Gump sit in one of the iconic scenes when they're real young, is on that plantation, although some people debate it and were like, no, it's on my plantation. But no one's going to check up on that, it's Beaufort. Some other scenes that are in Forrest Gump is the Vietnam War scenes were filmed off Fripp Island, which is technically a part of Beaufort. And so they didn't even go to somewhere like exotic for Vietnam, they just went to another island. But they had to plant about 20 palmettos, which are actually the state tree and the kind of icon for South Carolina, in order to actually make it feel tropical. And another scene is when Forrest just gets up one day and starts running cross country. He gets interviewed while crossing the Mississippi on a bridge. He didn't go to the Mississippi. It was